I was like, yo, team, it doesn't zoom in. It doesn't zoom in. Okay. This is me. This is real. This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. Gonna let the light shine on me. Now I found who I am. Hi, hello. There's no way to hold it in. No more hiding who I wanna be. This is me. And then, do you know Shane Gray? Shane Gray? Is that his name? You're the voice I hear inside my head. The reason that I'm singing, I need to find you. I gotta find you. Hello, hi. Hi. I have school tomorrow. Oh no, that's okay. I get you because it's Monday. I have to work tomorrow. I also have school tomorrow. So we're in the same boat. Let me tell you though, let me tell you some new, fun, and exciting news. I don't know if it's new. I feel like maybe I talked about it at some point. But I think I did because I went on a whole rant about like being in college at an old age. Now, it's never too old to be in college or anything, right? But um I'm still in college. I'm still working towards my bachelor's degree, my undergrad. But fun and exciting news is that this semester is my last semester. I'm so excited. I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm going to graduate this spring with my bachelor's degree. I'm so excited. I'm actually just more excited to finally be done. To finally be like done with school. I don't want to say that much because knowing me, I'm not going to be done with school. But I think it's just because I've been working towards my bachelor's degree for such a long time now. Such a long time. I'm just ready to get it out of the way. I'm ready to be done with the undergrad. I'm ready to move on. So I'm really excited. This is my last semester. So I get you because I have school too. And it's a hard semester. All right. I have all these classes, all this work, but the reward at the end is going to be worth it, right? Because I'm finally going to have my degree. Thank God. Thank God. Anyways, and I'm also going live on a Monday. I'm so sorry. I feel like I wasn't going to. Surprise, right? A shock that I wasn't going to. Um, because I have to be up a little early tomorrow. It's earlier than I usually wake up, but the heck is that? I figured if I go to bed late, I'm going to have a hard time getting up in the morning, and I didn't want that to happen. But also I miss yapping. There's a dog barking outside of my house right now. I don't think he wants me to go out there and see what's up. If I have to go out there and tell him to be quiet, mind you, it's not even my dog. It's the neighbor dog. I, I told you, I'm here to yap. I have stories to tell today. Um, so I kind of got a dog in April. Kind of. I say kind of because I'm pretty sure I told the story before, but um, me and my family went on like a weekend trip, and when we left, we had no dog, and there was no dog around, like no sign of any dog. But my dad has like security cameras around our house because we also live in the middle of nowhere. So aside from like trying to catch people who are doing strange things, not that they would because we live out in the middle of nowhere, um, but also to like see scary paranormal things, but also if there's like a strange animal because we live out in the middle of nowhere. So he has these cameras set up around our house to catch like just any kind of movement that happens around our property. Okay. Anyway, so we're out on like a weekend trip and we have a camera on our back porch and he is like my dad because it's on his phone and so he said there's like something on our back porch and we're looking and he's like I think it's a dog and it's like sitting in like a box, like an empty box that we have on our back porch. Except we like how should I explain this? How do I explain this? We live in the middle of nowhere, but we live with other people in the middle of nowhere. So like we have like some neighbors, but they're not that close, but they're not that far. Fancy meeting you here? Yeah, it's me. Welcome. It's me. Um anyway, so like the neighbors have dogs and sometimes they kind of just go to like each other's houses. Hi, hi. I'm telling a story about my dog. Um And anyway, so like this isn't our first occurrence with like a random dog showing up at our house. So we think it's just a random dog that's trying to sleep on our porch. But like the other dogs, every time they come to our house, they like to be nervy. They like to dig through everything that we have sitting outside. And it's like, you're creating a mess. We don't even know you like that. Get out of here. So we thought that this dog was going to do the same thing. So it's sitting in a box on our back porch and it's by the camera. But the camera has this like voice feature, like where you can talk through it and it'll hear, like, whoever's standing by the camera will hear you. And so we're trying to shoo away this dog through the camera. It's so funny. I can't imagine how we sounded. We probably sounded goofy. And so we're like trying to tell the dog to go away through this camera. The dog is just looking at us like in this box and it's like we're like, okay, well we'll deal with it when we get home because we were going home the next day. So we get home the next night and we see the dog is still laying in this box. So we start trying to shoo off the dog and the dog's still looking at us like we're crazy. Like, I don't know what you're so worked up for. And so when we realize that the dog isn't leaving, we decide to get it out of the box because it was like so like squished into the box. I don't know. We get her out of the box and we notice like she's really skinny. She is so skinny, like she looks scary. And so we're like, this dog is starving. This dog is gonna die. And she's just kind of curled up on her. Like she was pretty friendly. She wasn't scared of us. Um, she wasn't like aggressive. She was actually very like almost kind of happy to see us. Like I don't even know whose dog this is. Where'd this dog come from? But we see that she's so skinny, so we're like, oh my gosh, we should give her some food. Like, cause she's just so skinny. And so we run inside. We stop trying to chase this dog away. We decide we're going to feed the dog. Now, I think that's the first mistake when you're trying to get a dog to leave your property. Now, we weren't really like trying to get the dog to go away. This dog showed up out of nowhere. So it had to be somebody else's dog, we thought. And like maybe it just like is staying here for a bit and it'll go back to where it lives. So we're like, we'll just feed the dog in the meantime because she's just so skinny. Can we get video proof? Maybe someday. Someday, maybe. Um, and so we start feeding the dog, and she kind of just sticks around. She just hangs around our house for like, I gave her until the end of the week. And I was like, if she doesn't leave by the end of the week, or nobody comes looking for her by the end of the week, I'm like, I'm just claiming her as our dog. So, lo and behold, a week passes. I even gave it an extra week just to be sure. The 2 weeks pass. She's not going anywhere. Matter of fact, she's like having the time of her life at our house now. She kind of just moved in on her own. And so we all kind of realize that she's just going to stick around. She's just here. And so we like all kind of like adopt the dog. Like, I don't know whose dog this is, but nobody's looking for her and she's not going back anywhere. This is our dog now. So we give her a name. We decide she lives with us. She's now our dog. This is our house dog. And she hangs out and she chills for like a few months. I try to play with her a lot, but we're all busy. We all work. We all leave in the daytime. Like nobody can really play with her like that. And she's like a young dog. So I can tell she's getting antsy. So she decides she's gonna explore. Okay, she's been with us for a few months. At that point, she's gonna go explore around the neighborhood. All right, the neighborhood of us who live out in the middle of nowhere. So she goes next door. She finds these two little tiny dogs that she wants to be friends with. Mind you, our dog, my dog, she's a big dog. I don't think she knows she's a big dog. I think she thinks she's like baby in her head, right? She's like, I'm small, I'm baby. It's like, no, you're not. You're like, you're kind of large. And so she goes to make friends with these two small dogs, which I think that's what she thinks she looks like. She looks like these two small dogs, and it's like, honey, you don't, but that's okay. And so she like becomes BFF these other two dogs, these neighbor dogs, and they've been hanging out every single day since then. There was a time where she like stayed at the neighbor's house with these other dogs for like 3 days. We thought she was just over there for good. We're like, well, she belongs to the neighbors now, but she came back. She brought her friends. And so now they kind of go around the neighborhood as a unit. All right, it's my dog, it's the neighbor dog that's like a medium-sized dog, and it's this little tiny chihuahua that likes to bark around at everybody but is like terrified of everybody. Like, I don't know what you're so loud for if you're gonna keep running away every time we try to, because we keep trying to pet these dogs. We're like, hey, since you're BFFs with our dog, we want to be civil. We want to be court. We want to pet you, but they're still scared. The Chihuahua, though, I can't tell you. This Chihuahua irks me. Irks me. Chihuahuas in general, I think, irk me because they're so vocal. They are so vocal and they get so mad, but they're so scared of you at the same time. It's like, what are you like saying all that for? Like, why are we acting like that if you're just gonna run away every single time? Chihuahuas just irk. So, so this Chihuahua is no different. Um, I remember one time we were out there, I think a few weeks ago, we were picking up things in like our yard, and this chihuahua is like, it sees us outside and it's just barking at us constantly. It keeps trying to like run up on us. And so every time I like turned around to look at the chihuahua, it would like turn around and book it. Like I was gonna do something to this chihuahua. I'm like, you can't even like come up to me. Like you can't even come up to me to bite my ankles if that's what you're trying to do. Like, why are we making all this noise? Get away from me. This chihuahua irks me. Nothing worse than a small dog. Small dogs are not my favorite. They're not really my favorite. Um, I don't know. Is it just the experiences I've had with small dogs? I'm from like the country, kind of. Like I've never really lived in a town or a city. So I'm used to like how things work out in the middle of nowhere. And when you live out in the middle of nowhere, you can't have small dogs because there's threats in the middle of nowhere where your small dog will always be a target. Now a big dog can kind of it can defend itself. They're large anyway, so a lot of like other animals um, would be scared of a big dog too. Um, and so the few experiences I've had with small dogs, all I know is that they yap. Oh, I don't want to say yap. All they do is bark, like just consistently bark, but like that's it. Like they're just loud and that's it. Like, I don't know. I don't like those kinds of dogs. Also, oh, again, like I was saying, I live out in the country, so they like small dogs feel like they have to be inside all the time. I don't think I like an inside dog. It'd have to be a half outside dog. You look like Bang Chan from Stray Kids. That's not true. Are you a stay? No. You know what happened in my live the other day? So if you guys weren't here, I did a live stream where I was getting ready for a concert. You're looking, no, okay. Hear me out, because it's funny. So I'm doing a live, I'm getting ready, I'm doing my makeup, all this stuff. And my sister's in there too. And I think I'm curling her hair. And someone in the chat came in and was like, you look like Felix. And like both me and my sister were like, that's not true. Because like we were also talking about how like Felix is just such a pretty guy. It's hard to like look that pretty. Like I don't, like not everybody just looks like Felix. And so we were both like, me and my sister were like, that's not true. We don't look like Felix at all. Felix is so pretty. Like we could never, we could only wish to look like Felix. And whoever said that in the chat was like, she said, yeah, you're right. She's like, you don't look like Felix. I was just joking. We were like, how could you even say that in the first place? How could you say something like, oh my God, you look like this person? And then you're like, psych, just kidding. And so it was funny though, because it's like, well, I'm glad you know that was not true. But also, why would you say things like that? If you're just gonna be like, just kidding. Just kidding. It was hilarious though. So now I don't know. I don't know if people are like just saying that for reactions, if you're saying it for like to be genuine. I don't know anymore. How old are you? I'm 34. I almost said 33. I'm 34. Typical YouTube chatter. I know. Just come in here and spread lies. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's actually my least favorite thing. My least favorite thing is when people, not to like, this actually could tie into another story that I can yap about. I'm 30. Oh, I'm older. I'm older than you. Um, anyway, it ties into this other story, okay, that I kind of want to yap about. So it involves a little bit of clowning myself, okay, but I've come to terms with my actions. I've taken accountability for my actions because I just know that's just what happened. So anyway, so at work, when I go to work, I park in this specific, like in the same area, but the way that the area is that I have to parallel park into this area. And it's one of the only like two areas out of everywhere else you can park that you have to parallel park. Everywhere else is just a regular parking space. Um, anyway, so I usually park in the same spot. And I have been parallel parking into this spot for months, many months at this point, and I've never had an issue. Okay. The lying people can get out because you're pretty as heck and they can keep hating because they can't be you. Okay, no, they weren't saying it in like a hating way though. It wasn't that she was like being a hater. It was more just like it sounded like they were saying it to like get a reaction, and then when we were like, no, like you're lying, they were like, yeah, you're right. Like it didn't sound like a hater kind of thing. It was just it was kind of funny that they came in here and said that, and they were like, just kidding, you don't. You're beautiful, are you single? I might be. Maybe. Why? Oh, anyway, let me yap some more about my story. So I've been parallel parking into the same specific, not spot, but just the same area, and I have to parallel park in there all the time. I've been doing it flawlessly for months. All right. So anyway, 2 weeks ago, um, 2 weeks ago, I had a bit of an issue. Okay, I think sometimes I get a little too confident, and this is just things in general. Like when I'm doing the same thing, I get a little too like confident in them after a while, and then I start like doing them wrong. And anyway, so it was, maybe we'll say it's like a Monday. I like pull in, I'm trying to parallel park into this spot, and I'm thinking like I had a lot of room. It's just to me, I'm like I was underestimating the amount of room I still had left behind me. And so I'm trying to pull into this spot so that I'm like in a nice straight line. And I learned later that it was true. It was actually true. But I'm backing up and I'm trying to get like close to the car behind me without hitting them. But it felt like I did hit them, but I wasn't entirely sure. And again, I didn't hit them. I just bumped their car because I was going so slow. I bumped the car, but again, at that point, I was like, I'm not sure if I bumped the car, but I feel like I did. So I'm going to pull forward. So I pull forward and then I like fix it and I'm like, all right, this is my spot. Like everything seemed fine. And so a few days later, okay, because nothing happened from that. A few days later, I'm going to park there again. Now, this specific day, people were parking really crazily. I don't know why we're parking like this, anyways. There's lines for a reason. So there was a spot. It was really, really small, but I have a small car. So I'm like, I can fit in here with my tiny little car. And so I start trying to parallel park into this spot. And I knew that both ends, like the front and the back, they had like tight space. And so I'm backing up and I try to get, I'm like, I'm gonna get as close to this car as possible without hitting them. I overestimated how much room I had. I bumped her car. I bumped the car behind me, but not significantly. Again, I'm going so slow. I bump it and it moves a little bit. And I was like, and I knew I hit that time. So I was like, oh my God, oh no. And so I, pull forward, but I have like this much room in the front and I have like this much room in the back. And I'm like, okay. But the important thing is I'm in. Just enjoying your beauty. Thank you. What I miss, I'm yapping about this story from a couple weeks ago. Um, anyway, so I bumped the car behind me. My bad. I was like, I obviously didn't mean to do that. The space is small. So I like try to get positioned in there like just enough to where like nothing's like sticking out or anything. And um and then I go inside. I go into like my job and I'm sitting there and 10 minutes later because we have like security officers on our um at our job site. But like, for the part of this is like the beef that I have with the security officer now. Um it's supposed to be for the entire organization, but they really only stay in one spot. I don't really even know what they do. Anyway, so 10 minutes later, he comes in and he was like, hey, he's like, did you just try parking out there, like parallel parking? I was like, yeah. And anyway, he comes in to tell me, he was like, so basically, I saw you hit that car behind you while you were trying to parallel park. And me, I'm embarrassed because I didn't think anyone saw that. And so he comes in and he was like, I caught you. I'm like, oh. I was like, my bad. My bad. I was just, I think in the moment, I was just embarrassed because, again, I didn't think anybody saw that. But also because he brought up the fact that I had bumped the same car earlier that week. But that was like, hearing him say that, I was like, so that means I actually did. Because, again, I didn't know if I bumped that car the first time. I just thought, like, I was like, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But he came in, he was like, that's like the second time you've done that this week. I was like, oh. And so I was even more embarrassed that he saw both of them. I was like, okay. And so he tells me, right? Like, mind you, he tells me, he was like, he's basically he's trying to give me like a lecture. He's like an older guy. He's trying to give me a lecture on like, how to park and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it, brother. I don't want to hear it. I made a mistake once. That does not mean I'm bad at parking. And so he's like yapping all this stuff at me. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Like, I just didn't want to hear it. Okay, I was embarrassed. And so he was like, just so you know, if it happens again, I'm gonna have to tell someone. He's like, but this time I'm not gonna tell anyone. I said, okay. I was like, thank you. Thank you so much, because it really was just like a mistake. So he leaves. He walks out. Okay. And I'm thinking, I'm like, that was embarrassing, but I acknowledge I bumped this car. Anyways, like an hour or two later, this girl that I know, she's like my age. And I also know her from, we used to go to high school together, kind of. And so she's like my age. She comes in. And she tells me, like, basically this whole story. But she's like, I didn't tell her anything about this. Obviously, I didn't tell anybody. She tells me, she was like, hey, like, they said that you bumped my car. And I can't tell you, like, I was sort of relieved when she walked in and I learned it was her car. I was like, oh my God, thank God. Because I know her. Like, I know her, and at least, like, I know that we can talk this out and I can be like, hey, I did not mean to bump your car, obviously. Like, I thought I had more room when I didn't. And so we, like, talked it out, and she was like, she understood, right? And so I was like, I'm so sorry. Obviously, I did not mean that. But so she came in and she told me that. And then she left. We like laughed it off. She left. She comes in like 30 minutes later and she said, hey, she's like, I know we just talked through this. It's like, but the security guy, the one that came in and talked to me about it, the security guy is going around telling everyone that um, that you could have done it on purpose. I said, what? And she's like, yeah, I was like, because he came and asked if he basically asked her if we had any beef. And she was like, not that I know of, like, because, like, we're on good terms. And I'm like, I don't, like, I know her, like, we're acquainted. I don't know her enough to be having beef with her. Like, we're on good terms. And anyway, he's telling everybody that I potentially, perhaps, mayhaps, did it on purpose because I hit her car twice. Like, it was like her car both times. And not for any specific reason. It was just because when you work somewhere, you tend to park in the same spots all the time, right? And so that's kind of what it was. Is that she was just parked in the same spot, and then the open spot that I was parking into was the same spot. both times. And anyway, he basically he created this story, went around, told everybody, I mean by like all like the higher ups, because my manager had to come talk to me and was like, hey, like what happened earlier, because she's hearing that I'm maliciously hitting people's cars. So she had to tell me, and I was like, I just want you to know this guy is making things up, he's being dramatic, and he's instigating. Because he came in and again had that conversation with me, and he didn't like mention anything about like anything maliciously. I think if he had that notion when he came in to talk to me the first time, he maybe would have asked, right? Like a good professional person does. He would have asked if it was like malicious, if there's anything going on. I would have been like, no. First of all, how could you think that? Second of all, it's no, not true. And but no, he came in, was like, I'm not gonna tell anyone. And then he left. And then 2 hours later decides to tell everybody that I'm maliciously hitting people's cars. Anyway, I didn't. People in my department kind of have issues with the security because, again, they only hang out in one area. They're supposed to be for the whole organization. They only hang out over here. So everybody else tends to have issues with that security team. So I didn't really have much of a perception on him anyways. But after this, after knowing he was going around, and mind you, he's like 50 something years old. He's 50 something years old, and he's like trying to tell people that like it was on purpose. I'm like, well, now I just don't like you. I don't like people who make things up like that. I do not like people who do things like that. It's so disgusting to me, low key. And so any respect that I had for him is now just out the window. I don't like this guy, and I'm probably never going to like him. It's Miranda YAP stream. Yeah, you're hitting people's cars. Yeah, I like accidentally backed into the same car twice, accidentally, and I just bumped it. I like ever so slightly just bumped it, right? Like, um, anyways, because I did it twice to the same car in the same week, this guy decides that I have malicious intent, um, towards whoever the owner of this car is, and decided to tell everybody possible that I had malicious intent. Um, Except instead of having that conversation with me, instead of addressing it with me and being like, hey, is anything going on? He decides, I'm not going to ask her. I'm not even going to tell her. I'm just going to tell everyone that that's what happened. So now it's on site. Every time I see this dude, I swear to God. I had to drive in the cold for work, and I had some weird customers. Oh, everyone was calling out from work, and I was the only bagger today, but I have customers to talk about. Oh, yeah, I heard it's a winter wonderland over there. That's wild. I know. Now I just don't like this guy. I even went as far. Are you legally liable for damages? What kind of psycho does he think you are? See, there wasn't any damage to the car because I didn't hit the car. I bumped the car. And because because I was parking, I was like parallel parking into a spot. And so I was going really slow anyway. So it was like kind of imagine like you're like bumping a car and you kind of just like you move it a little bit, but like you don't really hurt the car at all. That's sort of what happened when I was parking. And so I knew there was no damages because I think if I was to hit the car and I damaged it, I would say something. But obviously I was like, I know I didn't hit the car that hard. It's not going to leave any marks. Um but I don't know. Hello parking props. Okay, this is the other thing that irked me so bad because from what I learned, so like there's a specific room in the place that he likes to hang out. Again, he's supposed to be the security for everyone. He's a security for like these people because that's where he likes to hang out. But he has a room there, where he gets to see all of the cameras across campus, which is strange because he doesn't check on any of those people. Um, So he likes to sit in that room, I've heard, and just watch the cameras all day. So, which led me to believe that obviously he's been seeing me park in this spot and parallel park into this spot for months, because I've been parking in that same spot for months. I parallel park there all the time. And so, like, he obviously sees me do that every single time. But he's seen me do a bad. It was just overestimating the amount of space I had. He's seen me do this twice in 1 week, and when he comes in to talk to me, he mentioned how he was like, if you can't parallel park, then don't park. Then don't be doing it. I was like, well, now I'm just offended, because I know if you've seen me bump this car twice this week, means you've been seeing me park in this spot for however many months I've been parking there. But you want to ignore all the times I did it right, and you want to tell me the 2 times I did it wrong that I can't parallel park. Like, I'll lay you out right now. You better watch out. If I'm doing it maliciously, I'll find your car next. Don't test me. Don't test me. Anyway, so this morning, I park in the same spot because I ain't afraid of nobody. Okay? He goes around spreading lies and rumors. I'm like, I don't take anyone like that seriously at all. So I park in the same spot. I'm not scared of him. I park in the same spot, and every single time, so I pulled up, I do the parallel parking strat where you pull up next to the car in front of the spot that you want, and then you reverse into the spot. So I pull up next to the car that's in front of the spot I want. As soon as I pull up next to the car, I look at the camera that I know is watching me park. I look at the camera, and I just like stare at it, and then I turn back, and I like back up. I back into the spot. I stop halfway, and I look at the camera again, because I'm like, I know you're watching me park. And so then I finish parking into the spot, and I move forward a little bit, because behind me, I'm pretty sure, is the car. Is it? The license plate looked different, but I don't know. I thought it was the girl's car, the one that I know, whose car I bumped that last time. I thought it was hers. And so I was like, I can't get too close to that car. I don't know what he's going to say. I don't know what kind of story he's going to create next. So I pull forward just a little bit, and I've like put it in a park, and then I look back at the camera again, and I just stare at the camera. I was like, and so then I get my stuff. I get out of the car. I close my car door, and then I stand there and I look at the camera. I like look at the camera, and then I like turn this way and I start walking to where I work. I was like, I hope you've seen that, and I'm gonna do that every day this week, because I am not afraid of somebody who creates lies, who like instigates things. That's insane. There was 3 teenagers, and they told me to bag a super small. Oh, they told me to bag a small super glue stick, and they told me to bag it 3 or 5 times. Said it was very fragile. When I gave them the bag, they aggressively shook the bag. Oh. And then an old man walked up after their passing and cursed me out, saying people were stupid for grabbing food and preparing for a silly snowstorm. And silly snowstorm, and all I could do was smile and nod. That's all I could do. Yeah, sometimes customers, I think in my years of working retail, you'll learn that customers love to complain. A lot of times, and I think it's important to remember, maybe like even like kind of hold that as a thought, that like sometimes, like even if they sound like they're angry, or sometimes they're even gonna like try to take it out on you, at the end of the day they're just complaining. If it's something you can't fix, they're complaining. And so, because at first I think having angry customers did kind of make me a little, not irk me, but make me a little upset. But once I learned that a lot of times they're just complaining to complain, I'm like, all I can do is just sit here and wait till you're done. And so I did. Sometimes they'll just yap and yap and yap about things they want to complain about. I'm like, yeah, period. The ones that yelled at me were actually pretty funny. I would laugh. If they were getting mad at me for something I couldn't control, I just laughed. Because I'm like, what are we getting mad at me for? I just work here. Like, this is goofy. If you have any questions and concerns, talk to someone who like knows what's going on. I literally just work here. Yeah, I feel like in the face of anger, I'm not really that great. That's crazy. Legit, if he's security and he sees an actual issue, he needs to talk to the person at fault or go to a superior. Talking to everybody else just means he's being dramatic and petty. Well, see, no, the problem was that I feel like in a professional field like this and with a problem like that you should address that problem with the person first. Maybe even have the conversation that you want to say to like people higher up, because he did kind of say it to the higher ups, but it was just the fact that when he came in to talk to me first, but he told me, like, just explicitly, like, straight up, he was like, hey, like, just so you know, he's like, this time I won't say anything to anyone. He's like, but if it happens again, I'm gonna have to say something. And so I was like, okay, like, got it, like, thank you, like, thank you so much, because obviously I didn't want everyone thinking that, like, you know, I have to explain this story like 500 people. I didn't want to do that. And so he made it seem like he was on my side. He was like, hey, I won't say anything. I'm like, okay. But then to find out 2 hours later, he actually did say something. He did tell people, like, he told like the higher up people. So it was like, again, he told my manager, and then he told this other lady who, like, that's a whole different story, I think, but she's also kind of a higher up. Um, And so he is telling higher ups, but this is after he told me he wasn't going to say anything. And then he went and told the girl whose like car that I hit, that I bumped, right? And that's when he told her that I might be doing it maliciously. And so she came to find me, which is crazy. She came to find me and said, hey, I just wanted, like, you know, double check like what's going on. And I had to be like, brother, I'm so sorry. Obviously, I did not mean to hit your car. It was an accident. Like, I totally, my bad. And she was like, oh, that's totally fine. She's like, but just so you know, he's telling everyone that it could have been malicious. I'm like, it's so on site. I just didn't like that he said one thing and then did something entirely different. And that instead of, like, if he had that idea this whole time, if he thought that I was doing it maliciously since the beginning, that he didn't bring that up to me. He just decided to tell everyone else. I'm like, so what are you even here for? If you can't, like, have conversations with people, like, you have to go say it as drama and gossip. I don't even know what you're doing here. I wish we could get a photo of you mean mugging the camera from the security monitor. I could. I feel like if I keep, like, doing the same thing, he's gonna come talk to me about it and be like, hey, so there's no need to do that. And I'm like, well, there's no need to start rumors either, but I guess we're still doing it, so. So, whatever. It's fine. Good to see you. Hi! The teenagers weren't angry. They were just trying to get under my skin and said that I should bag it so many times for a glue stick. See, teenagers are the worst. I like your hairstyle today. Look pretty. Thanks. Yeah, teenagers are so bad. Honestly, I kind of just treat them like mini adults because sometimes they like to act like mini adults. If they ask me for 3 bags, I'll be like, you're just getting one. That's it. I'm only giving you one. Honestly, can't imagine yelling at a service person for something out of their control. That's true. That's what I'm saying. Some people just like to, like, take their anger out on other people who have nothing to do with it. He told the other person, why do you play the compassionate guy if he was going to tell anyway? That's what I'm saying. I don't like that he said he wasn't going to and then did it anyway. That's like my biggest pet peeve in the entire world. I do like imagining you basically playing bumper cars in the parking lot, though. Yeah, it pretty much was. I didn't mean to, but that's like what it was. Which song is your favorite from the new One Us album? My favorite is Stop and Move. I love that song. I love Stop and Move, but I knew as soon as I heard the highlight medley with its 3 songs that Stop and Move was gonna be my favorite anyway. So, like, it wasn't a surprise when it came out, and, like, I loved the song. I will say, actually, I really like Grenade. So, I did my music video reaction last week, and um, I think in the music video reaction, I did say that I liked the song. I can tell you maybe my true thoughts and opinions. It when I first heard the song, it how do I say this in such a nice way? I didn't hate the song. I did think that the song was good, but it wasn't as exciting. It didn't feel that exciting, or, like, mind blowing. Um, but I think I also knew that that was gonna happen because the concept was like a hip hop concept, and my other fear was that they were gonna release the song and that I wasn't going to like it at all, which I'm always kind of scared of, but like it never proves to be true. Um, but a fear I have when One Us releases new albums is that it's going to have songs that I don't like, um, which again, so far has not been the case, but you just never know. Like I don't want like the new album to be the time that they finally have a song I don't like. And so I was a little scared that this one was gonna be that song. And I was so nervous. I was like, I don't want to hate the song. But like if I don't like the song, then I don't like the song. And so I was excited that it wasn't that I liked the song. Like when it came out, I was like, I do like this song, actually. Um, but it wasn't like spectacular, I should say. It didn't feel like a oh my god, like this is so crazy and insane. So I get it because people have been like they have mixed reactions about Grenade too, and I understand because it doesn't feel like that kind of song anyway. But the more that I listen to the song, I actually I'm like starting to really like it. I'm like really starting to like it. So um I know other people like don't like it that much. Maybe they won't like it like ever, but I'm starting to be there. I'm I'm a fan. So, how the concert go? It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. I was just vibing pretty much cuz like I don't know the artist. I've heard a few songs because of my sister, but overall it was actually really fun. I enjoyed it. It made me realize I just like going to concerts in general. So, so many things are happening in March. We got BTS album, P1 Harmony is confirmed for an album, and Harry Styles is making an album in March. I feel like I'm being spoiled. March is the time. Do you know Bruno Mars? I do. Talking to the moon. No, oh my god, I do. I really want to see Bruno Mars on tour. I really want to go. Um, because I know a lot of Bruno Mars songs. I'm not like a fan, like a fan. I don't know a lot of his like B-sides or anything. But I know all of the hits and he has a lot of hits. And I just feel like cuz he hasn't toured in so long that he's going to sing all the hits and I want to be there to hear them all, right? It's just a dilemma I'm having is like the time of the tour. So I keep scooting back. I think it's so funny. Um, so I think his tour starts in May or late April. And he has a show in Minneapolis in May, but his show in like Colorado, it's actually in where the heck is it? I want to say it's closer to like Colorado Springs. Um, but his show in Colorado isn't until September. So I'm like, I'm having a dilemma on if I want to go to the one in May in Minneapolis or if I wait until September to see him. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. Um, and I mean, I know it's only January. It's like January, almost February. But like, you know, the whole like Minneapolis is like in a crazy state right now. Um, I can only hope it gets better before May. Matter of fact, it should, don't even know why this is a problem in the first place. Um, I can only hope it gets better by May, but like at the same time, you just don't know. Um, and I do like I have friends that like they want to go, but they're also like, how should I say? They don't feel safe going to Minneapolis, because like they feel like they could be targeted by um, what's going on in Minneapolis. Um, so that's kind of the other thing too. Is like, just don't really know where to go. Singing stream? Yeah, I started the stream by singing because I was like, what did I say? This is me. And then I started singing This Is Me by from Camp Rock. You're the voice I hear inside my head, the reason that I'm singing. I need to find you. I gotta find you. My friend in Texas said he bought tickets to see him in Houston. I wanna go. I wanna go so bad though. I liked all three songs. When You're Close to Me was so good. I do like When You're Close to Me. I think I need to um I guess slower songs are like I don't vibe with them as much as I like the upbeat songs. But When You're Close to Me sounds like it have like really good lyrics. Like I want to know what the lyrics say, but um I haven't seen anyone that's translated them yet, so I'm not sure. I do like it though because Soho's in it. Duh. So, yeah, no, I think they're all good. I think all three of them are really good in their own ways. He's my online friend. We mostly played Fortnite together. Oh, wow. Bruno Mars has a dope voice. I like his earlier, more what style songs. Heard he's kind of an a-hole, you know, personally. You know what? I hate to say, I I kind of get it though. I think, dare I say, I think that like top tier celebrities have sort of a right to act like that. Now, I think it's crazy when they're acting like that to their fans because like your fans are the reason why you're in the position you're in. So like when we're acting like that with our fans, that's crazy. But like I think when it comes to like industry people, like other like entertainers, singers and all this stuff, people within the industry, I think if like top tier celebrities are acting like rude and mean, dare I say, I think it could be a little warranted. Because when you are, this could be at any level of fame, any level of fame, okay? Even like micro celebrities, micro influencers, people with like just this much fame. When people know you and you're popular, it gets to your head, I will say. Um, it gets to your head, but it also gets to other people's heads. And people, like they, I won't say everybody because not everybody acts like this, but some people definitely do. Where they see somebody who's like in like a, how do I want to say, like a position of like, they see that they're like popular, they have like a reputation and they want to be associated. They want to be associated with that person on that level. Like they want, how am I trying to say this? You start to see how people get slimy when you are in any kind of position of like popularity and fame, because people will come out and they'll start trying to like be around you. They'll maybe even start trying to take advantage of you, your resources, all this stuff, so that they can either get it for themselves or, you know, like they're always doing it pretty selfishly anyways, people who try to like get into your circle like that. And I definitely think when you're a top tier celebrity, you have so many people around you like trying to like, dare, I don't want to say bother you, but like they keep trying to like be around you. um they like maybe like they keep asking you to like do things, or like they just kind of feel like they're constantly trying to get into like your life and your circle so that they can utilize the popularity and stuff that you have for themselves. They call those clout chasers. And I can't imagine how like popular celebrities like have to deal with that, especially with the people around them. Not even just the random people who are like, "Oh my god," like, you know, but like people who might be, they might be acquaintances with, who are like trying to use them for other things. And so I feel like it's kind of why I say that I think it's a little warranted for them to be rude and stuff, because it's hard to know, like more often than not, like you're going to come across somebody who's trying to use you for your resources rather than somebody who actually wants to be around you. So even if he is rude and stuff, he's like, he's famous. Like, I don't, Now, when it's acting like that towards its fans, that's when it becomes a problem. Like, we shouldn't be acting like that towards fans at all, actually. Unless the fans are being weird, but I'll be your bodyguard for the event for Bruno Mars. I told him to record Die with a Smile for me because I told myself I wouldn't go to any concerts in all of this year and I don't want to break that. Oh, wait, stop. I would love to go. I would love to go. You lost me there. They're just people at the end of the day and they poop like anyone else. Nobody should be thinking they can act disrespectful to anyone else. I mean, but that's like my take with that mindset. Um, like if they had that mindset, it's like obviously I get why they would be kind of mean and disrespectful. But well, I don't want to say disrespectful. I think that's completely different than being like, I don't know. I don't know. I think if they're just being mean to just be mean, then yeah, it's a problem. But I like in order to kind of um control like who's around you and like what their intentions are, like I feel like you have to be a little strict, a little assertive. What group do you stand? I stand One Us. But you don't know my old group. Oh, is it Stray Kids? Being kind isn't the same as letting yourself be used, though. You can be respectful and still have boundaries. I mean, I feel like, though, in like a. How should I say? I don't know. I think it's like a. It's definitely a deep discussion. Basically, when you get a little more famous, you're gonna cut us all off. I hear you. Yeah. I'm gonna switch up on my day ones. I'm gonna forget where I came from. Switch up on my day ones. I think that's so funny. I saw that as like an Instagram reel. It's like if I get rich and famous, I'm going to cut my day like I'm gonna switch up on the day ones. I'm gonna forget my roots and I'm gonna forget where I came from. Bruno Mars was my childhood all throughout growing up. I loved him and I think his concert would be the best, but I really don't want to spend so much money all over again like TXT17 were. I know. I know because that's actually like how expensive those tickets are. I think I even like looked. Like I don't mind being in the nosebleeds for Bruno Mars cuz like I'm a fan, but I'm not that much of a fan. I just want to hear the classics. I want to hear the bangers through like that amazing like sound system and just to be there in the crowd, you know? Be there with the vibes. So I don't mind sitting way up at the top, but even then, I think the tickets are like $200. It's like why would I pay $200 to sit in the very last row of this entire stadium? I'd pay 50 for this. Like that could be the other thing that's like stopping me too is like how expensive the ticket itself is. Um so I don't know. Which it makes sense to go to the one in Colorado if it's in September because then I have time to save up for the ticket and the trip. But I mean, it's just a drive, so like that's not bad. But like also a hotel. Whereas like May is in like 4 months. Deep discussions are what YAP streams are about. That is so true. That is so true. Both $800 for all 4 people. I'm saying that's a lot of money. But also, I think there's somebody else going on tour that I wanted to go see. Oh my god, I heard Pitbull is supposed to go on tour. And I want to go. I want to go because Pitbull has bangers too. Pitbull has bangers too, but I feel like those tickets won't be that expensive. They won't be as expensive as Bruno Mars. No, I was gonna also give another reason why I want to see Bruno Mars, but I can't. I think it sounds a little too delusional, so I'm not going to. But trust me, I want to. I want to hear Finesse and For Kid Mad. I know! I'm saying he has so many good songs. Found a couple for $232 each. Nosebleeds. You can do Colorado instead. I won't get my ticket. Well, I don't know. Because the other thing with the one in May from Minneapolis is it's also right after my finals week, which like should be a good thing because it's like, oh my god, a reward for finishing this like tough semester and because I'm finishing my last semester of my undergrad. Yay! I finished the semester in good standing. I'm like, I'm done. Okay. Uh, but also because September is further away than May. I don't know. I put mayonnaise on my PB&J. Then it's not a PB&J. Did I ask for that? We like Delulu? What's the reason? No! I can't. It's so delusional. I can't. It's so delusional. I was looking for BTS tickets in Tampa. I didn't want to go. I was just curious how much they want. And they want me to go bankrupt. They asked 200 and that got sold out instantly. Yeah, oh my god, that was the other one is I do want to see BTS. I do. But also I like heard it's all sold out, so I guess that's number one. They're all sold out. I can't get a ticket. I'm like, I'm not pressed though. If I can't see BTS, I'm not gonna be sad about it or anything. I just thought it would be fun. I did want to see BTS though. I'm finishing my undergrad this spring too. Twin! Oh my god, we have to have like a huge party. We'll have a huge virtual party. How about that? That'd be so exciting. So exciting! Is it you think he'd recognize you from somewhere? No. No, I don't think Bruno Mars would never recognize me ever. Okay. It's no. It's not that. It's like delusional in a different way. No. No. Okay. All right, let me tell you. You've convinced me to tell you. I just want you to know that I know it sounds delusional and then I know it sounds crazy. Okay? I just want you to know that. I just think it's funny. It's all fun and games for me. Anyway, so we love Delulu Miranda. No. Okay. It sounds so bad. All right, lock in, guys. Lock in. All right. So I don't know if you guys know, but but Soho's favorite artist is Bruno Mars. His favorite musician is Bruno Mars. He loves Bruno Mars, right? Anyway, Bruno Mars had some concerts in Asia like 3 years ago, and he was having a concert in Korea. And um I remember I asked on Bubble. Now I'll say I asked because I asked the question and he answered it on Bubble. So I asked him if he got tickets to the Bruno Mars concert because I saw that Bruno Mars was having his concert in Korea. I said, "Hey Soho, did you get tickets to Bruno Mars?" And Soho was like, "No." He's like, "I didn't get tickets because they were supposed to perform at some festival in Canada that same week or weekend that Bruno Mars was going to be performing in Korea." And so, like, obviously, he's all booked out and busy. So he's like, I can't see Bruno Mars. But then the festival in Canada gets canceled because they were having fires, like wildfires. And they were like, we can't have this festival right now. So they canceled the festival like a week before it was supposed to happen. So obviously, One Us was not going to this festival anymore. And so this is why I asked. This was after they got canceled, and I messaged on Bubble. I was like, did you get tickets to see Bruno Mars? He said, no, because we originally had a schedule for that weekend. He's like, so I didn't feel the need to buy tickets. He's like, but now obviously you can see I'm pretty sad because their schedule got canceled and now he doesn't have tickets to Bruno Mars, so he can't see Bruno Mars, except Bruno Mars is his favorite artist. And so I'm like sad for him. I'm like, oh my god, I'm devastated on your behalf because I want you to see your favorite artist. Duh. Anyway, so he like talked about it a little bit. He's like, I'm so sad I can't see Bruno Mars. This was like 3 years ago, right? Anyway, so we fast forward to now. Bruno Mars is going on tour. I'm not a Bruno Mars fan. I don't really like necessarily feel the need to go. Like, I'll be okay if I don't go. I just thought it would be funny if I went. If I went on like behalf of Soho. Not that he would ever care, right? Like obviously he would never know that. But like I just think it would be like, this is for you, Soho. I'm like at the concert. I'm like, Soho, I got you. I'm here enjoying Bruno Mars for you. Do not worry. Um anyway, that was just another like crazy little reason that I wanted to see Bruno Mars. Aside from that I think he has banger songs. And I think it would be fun. Only the $200 ones are sold out. It's probably 300 or 400%. Oh, somebody was saying all of the tickets were sold out. I guess I didn't even look since then. Because I was gonna wait until after ticketing, like when all the prices go back down. Because they'll go back down. Trust. I learned this the hard way when I was trying to get my Baekhyun ticket. Which, if I had known the things that I knew, I would have waited until like 2 weeks before the concert to get a ticket. But when I bought my ticket, I got it in like a spot. It wasn't that great of a spot, but it was pretty expensive, and I was like, maybe that's just how they're gonna be. And I kept looking to see if there was new tickets or anything, and they kept popping up. And there was one at my section because I was at the back of my section. There was some seats that came up in the second row of my section that were cheaper than mine. I was like, you're closer to the ground, and they're cheaper. And so I was like, I should have just waited. If I had known, because like when the demand goes down, all the ticket prices go back down. So, yeah. So that's kind of why now, like, if I'm going to get a BTS ticket and there's tickets still available, I'm going to wait till they go kind of back down to a normal price. Can I get a hi? Hi. He'd probably be there and you'd like lock eyes across the stage. Do you know, I keep thinking of that High School Musical meme from High School Musical 3 when he's like playing basketball and Gabriella stands out. She's like, try. That's gonna be me and Soho from a Ah, that'd be so funny. That'd be so funny. You could bring a sign. This concert is for you, Soho. Yeah, and then I somehow get it in like the group photo and put it in the bag. And then Soho sees it and he's like, oh my god. You're so right. You're beautiful. Thanks. I looked yesterday. I don't know about what BTS tickets are right now. I was looking at Tampa since I was technically closer to there. Out of anywhere else they were going. I saw floor seats and they were 7,000. See, and that's just people. That could be people reselling them too. Because people. Resellers are so dumb, Loki. Like, people buy. They ticket for, like, really good tickets. They buy them. And then they resell them for such crazy prices because they know somebody's going to buy it for that price. I think we need to start practicing discipline. And when we see people trying to resell tickets for that much, that we don't buy them for that price from those people. Because if we just leave them empty, right? Like nobody buys them up until the day of the show, then these people are out like $1,200. They don't ever get that $1,200 back, and they're not going to the show anyways. I could be making bank reselling BTS tickets. Apparently, because people do buy tickets for that price. And I don't get it. Okay, the same thing happened with Baekhyun's concert in Las Vegas. There was two seats, I think, in like the third or fourth row that somebody was reselling, and they were reselling them for like $1,000 each. And they were there, they were like listed as a resale for such a long time, but then all of a sudden they disappeared. So I was like, did somebody buy them for that price? Why would you do that? Like, that's so unnecessary. I don't, it's just insane. I don't get it. I don't get it. Somebody did, oh my God, somebody did that for One Us's concert in Nashville. And I thought it was the funniest thing because I was like, I know you don't know One Us and I know you don't know their fans. None of their fans are going to be paying you $1,000 for a second row seat. Especially when there's seats that are like 6 rows behind them that are 100 and something. I'm like, you picked the wrong group to be doing this. You know? And I thought that was hilarious. Like, it was just so hilarious to me. Like One Us fans. One Us fans are like the last people who are going to be spending that much money for a ticket that close. They're not going to. I'm already accepting my fate. I'll never see BTS and they'll disband while I cry of not seeing them in person. I can see it now. You know what? I hate to say sometimes that might happen. I'm thinking that same thing about EXO. Like I've never seen EXO in real life. The only person I've ever seen was Big Hyun. And even then I haven't really ever seen him that close. He's the only person I've ever seen in real life. But like EXO as a group, I don't think I'll ever see them as a group ever in my entire life. And I just have to accept that. Somebody got way more fun money than me. I know if I had that much money, like extra money to spend, I would not be buying concert tickets just to resell them. I'm gonna spend it on something else. Hi, hello. But my next tour for K-pop, it'll either be ATEEZ and Hypen or GOT7. Which I don't know if GOT7 will tour, but it's still hope. I was only thinking who I wanted to see next. I think In Hypen would be fun. That's just what I've been thinking. But I don't know. I don't have any concerts planned. What a surprise, right? Can you imagine me has no concerts planned for the like foreseeable future? I think the next one that I do want to see Just Be, but I know they're touring in like April. Um, and it's like an actual concert this time because last time was a listening party, and I was like, I low key regret spending that much money for what it was, but you learn and you lose, right? Um, or you lose and you learn. Whatever. I learned my lesson. Okay, but this time they're going on an actual tour, and I want to go because they're probably going to sing like all their other songs, and that's what I was there for. Anyway, they're not going on tour until April, and even then, they don't have dates solidified yet. So, like, I want to go, but I don't know if it's going to like conflict with anything yet. And I hope it doesn't because I want to go. I'm shocked. Boy Next Door, I just love the hype of group. Isla would be nice. That's true. That is true. The heck is a listening party? That's what I said. They had like a mini album come out in like October or something, September or October. And the listening party was really just them performing the songs from that album for like an hour. And then they left. But it was also part fan sign. But like, I didn't care for the fan sign. I was there for the listening party. The fan sign was kind of just this other thing that I had to get through. I just wanted the listening party, but even then, it really wasn't worth it for the amount that I spent. And I was wondering about One Us because I meant to ask this last time you were live. You mean like a tour? A One Us tour? I don't think they're gonna go on tour. Um, at least for the first half of the year. Now, hear me out because apparently I don't know anything about One Us's tours. No? Oh. All right, well, let me tell you anyways. Um, because I thought the same thing after they had their concert in Seoul, like their last concert with the five before Soho enlisted. I didn't think that they were gonna go on tour. Okay, I for some reason I just thought that they wouldn't go on tour without Soho, and so I was like, okay, so I don't think they're gonna tour for a while, right? So can you imagine? Obviously, I was so surprised, so shocked, and so betrayed, low key, that they were going on tour without Soho. I was like, what? Anyway, so knowing that they do tour without all their members, I was like, all right, I think if One Us is to go on tour this year, they're probably going to go after Soho gets out of the military because Lido has to enlist this year. Um, so they can't go on tour with him, but Soho gets out in August. Thank God he gets out in August. So I think if they do, they have a bit of a window to do a tour before next year Hwanwoong has to go. So I think if they do, it's going to be at the end of the year. How's the company and them? Are they still looking for a company? I'm afraid Google News won't tell me everything, so I ask you. Thanks. What an honor. Truly an honor. No, they haven't said anything about like their search for a new company. They do keep talking about how they're retiring from RBW. They actually made such a funny comment. It's so funny. Um, they did a live on YouTube the other day, and I think Hwanung said something about uh, he said good luck. He was like, also good luck to the fans who are quitting their jobs just like us. And then they all were like, they all said to quitting our jobs like in unison. I was like, oh my god, the fact that they're just like rubbing it in. They're like, we're quitting in a month. Our job, they have like their month's notice in right now. They're about to be jobless in a month. Anyway, I thought that was so funny. So at least like they keep mentioning that. They keep mentioning how like, they got one more month with RBW and that's it. But they haven't said anything about where they're going to move to. But I do think that's on purpose. I think we're not going to know until they actually like lock in. I like your hair. Thanks. I notice everyone always has company problems these days. First, Vicha, New Jeans, One Us. Who else do I need to name here? I think it's just, I almost want to say maybe like the old structure of K-pop companies is just not working anymore. Because a lot of those companies, like, either were established or they started really picking up during like a different era of K-pop and a different era of management. But because like K-pop is different and people want different things, they have to change up like their management styles and their promotion styles. And I think some of these companies just aren't doing that. So that could be a possibility too. I miss New Jeans and one of my biases left the group. You know what? I feel like New Jeans might just disband. I think that they should. I don't think they should. I think it'd just be weird if they continued um, without the original members, dare I say. Anyways, team, I think I'll be live for 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes and I'll end the stream. So if you have anything to say, speak now or forever hold your peace. I feel like I've yapped about so many things today. I did my daily One Us update. Did I? I'm doing homework per usual for your streams. You know what? Well, I'm glad one of us is being productive. I mean, Vita lost 2 members and they changed their names to work hard as a group. I mean, I like though that they changed their name. I think that like really helps like kind of shift their identity away from like their the previous group. So at least there's that. What was I gonna say? Oh, daily One Us update. Okay, let me give you an update on what One Us is doing these days. One Us is actually in the middle of their promotions for their new song called Grenade. If you guys haven't heard it, be sure to go listen. It's good, I think. I mean, I think it's good. Like, I like the song, but people have mixed reactions, so you can decide for yourself. They're doing promotions right now, so they're performing on like music shows. They're doing fan signs. They got all the works going out right now, and that's pretty much all they're doing. That's pretty much like what they're doing, and that's what I know of. It's good to hear you yap again. Definitely been tough catching your stream so far this year. My schedule hasn't been lining up. You know what? It's okay because I haven't been streaming that much anyways. I think that was something I was going to mention too. I didn't do a birthday stream and I wanted to, like I really really wanted to. I even bought like decorations and stuff. I was going to do the whole setup and everything. Um but I was at a conference during my birthday and on the day of my birthday, I had been awake since like 6 a.m. And by the time I wanted to do a stream, it was like 9 or 10. And I had to get up early again the next day. And I was just tired. It was my birthday, but I was just tired. And so I just took photos with my setup. And then I went to bed and I skipped the birthday stream. I'm so sorry. I really wanted to do one. I had it planned and everything. and I just I just decided not to. I'm so sorry. Um, but that's kind of like what my streaming schedule has been. I feel like there's been times that I want to stream and then I like get to it. I'm like, I don't want to anymore. Um, but like I know it probably like for you guys it's not that great because like I'm like never here. But I'm trying to like not force myself to stream because then I'm not going to like it if I do. So I kind of want to keep like the flexibility that I have so that when I do stream I actually do enjoy it and that you know we have like the best time and then I'm not sitting here trying to like force myself to get through it because that would be crazy. But New Jeans almost changed their name as well, and I hope they don't disband. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. I hope they don't give up. Yeah, see, I mean, I hope that they just disband so they can get away from their company. Like, you know, like that's kind of what I mean. Like, I think that they would really only work if it was all of them, like the original five. But like, since that Danielle's gone now, like, I don't think that they should continue as New Jeans under that company. I think they all gotta leave and then rebrand as something else. When was it? Your birthday's about you. If you needed sleep, then that's good. You skipped it. Yeah, I was just tired. I was like, I have had a long day. We enjoy watching. Oh, we enjoy interacting with you, and you need to be able to enjoy it too. Nobody wants us to be an obligation free. Exactly. I don't want it to feel like one either, because I like to yap. Uh, I do like to yap. My birthday was last Wednesday. It was on the 21st. I will say, it was a bit of a strange year for me. Ace my quiz just now. Period. Period. Um, no, it was a bit of a strange year because I feel like I'm always so excited for my birthday. Like I love my birthday. Okay, and I'm always feel like I'm so excited to do like so many things. But this year, for like the first time in a long while, I was not that excited for my birthday. Not for any specific reason. Like it wasn't for anything bad. It was just that it felt like it was going to be like just another day. Like it didn't feel like the way that it usually feels to me, and that maybe that could also be a reason why like I just felt like I wasn't that excited this year. So I'm trying to really figure out why that is because like last year for my birthday, I was so excited. I did a stream at midnight. I did a whole birthday like stream, like the whole like setup and everything, and it was so fun and I was so excited. But this year I just wasn't. I don't know. But yeah, but my birthday was last week and it just came and went. Happy late birthday, Auntie. They wanted to go independent, making their own music under no company one time, and that's when they were talking about the name change, so they did think about it before. That's what I read. I'm so deep in this New Jeans trauma. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's just trying to get away from their company right now, I think, is their main problem. Um, yeah, anyways, I think I'm going to end the stream here before I get too carried away with yapping because I do have to get up early tomorrow. Oh my god. I did it to myself, but oh my god. Um so I think I'm going to end the stream here for tonight. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for letting me yap as usual. Forgot to say happy late birthday. Have a great day at work. Don't hit any cars. I know. Because I like to hit cars maliciously, so watch out. Protect your cars. Protect your cars. Um, Anyway, I feel like I don't want to promise you any streams because I tend to promise them and then they don't happen. So I will just say that I will see you when I see you, but I'll try not to make it that long of a break. um, get that photo of you mean mugging the camera and we can make it a shirt. Oh my god, can you imagine? It's just me standing in the parking lot going like this. I'm like, that would be so funny. Um, yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I hope you have good sleeps, and I hope you have good dreams, and I hope you guys have a good day tomorrow, or you're having a good day right now, or you had a good day today, and I will see you all in the next stream. Bye, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good night. See you next time. Bye.